Hi guys, Amateur Psychopath here. I'm coming to you a little bit sunburned, a little bit sore, and a lot shorn. Can you see the colors? Okay, anyways, on to the video. My cousin was in Walmart the other day, dressed sort of similar to what she usually wears, except she was wearing a high-neck black t-shirt, comfy, slightly baggy jeans, and her torn-up old Converse. She went to a clerk to see about getting one of the fitting rooms open to use. Clerk looked her up and down, said, "Do you want the men's or the women's?" Now my cousin told me this and I thought, oh, that's pretty funny. Didn't understand until she clarified that she'd been mistaken for a lesbian. She said that when she got home and told her mother what had been assumed of her, her mother had been horrified, scandalized by such an assumption of her perfect little daughter. I gave my cousin a small taste of the rant that went through my head when I heard this, but she already knew all of that, so there was really no point in continuing it all to her. So obviously, I decided to bring it here and tell you, whoever you may be. Here's the main problem I have with this story. This clerk does not know my cousin. She will probably, unless odds are against us, never see or recognize my cousin again for either of the rest of their lives. The impact that either of them will have on the other's life is at most minimal. So why does my aunt care what this single person thinks of her daughter? If it's not true, it shouldn't matter. The fact that my aunt is so terrified of a random clerk thinking that her daughter, based off an assumption that she made from her clothes, likes girls, seems a bit ridiculous to me. After all, what does it matter what people think? Just because a person with no long-lasting impact on your life makes an incorrect assumption based on the visual and physical cliches about sexuality today doesn't mean that you have to stop your daughter or yourself from ever dressing the way that you feel most comfortable just to avoid assumptions like that being made in the future. I don't know if it's just me, but I've never really cared about the opinions of somebody else unless I'm genuinely interested in their opinion because they're a close personal friend or a relative whose opinion I actually value. A random civilian with no impact on my future life really doesn't concern me. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should use this philosophy of ennui and dispassion in every aspect of your life. Sometimes it's very important what other people care about you, such as in an employment setting, where you kind of have to look employable and respectable and not insane. What I am saying is that you shouldn't drive yourself crazy trying to conform to everybody's ideals of the perfect person. Because if you do, you'll just go insane and want to rip your brain out by the power cord and go through the rest of your life as a lifeless shell. This is a mindset I've been living by for a few years now, ever since that first crippling revelation that other people existed. And it's very freeing. It lifts an extraordinary weight off of one's mind, and really, who needs more stress at all? It might not be that simple for everybody watching this video, such as if you have severe anxiety or depression, but next time you catch yourself letting somebody change a fact or a feature about you, stop and think why. Why do you care what they think? If you just don't want them to get offended, then maybe you should stand a little straighter and love yourself a little better. Hope you appreciate what I go through for you. Standing on my dresser to try to get my camera set up.